Hello everyone, Coach Carol with you once more, and I am still revamping my genealogy projects with the help from my Ultimate AI squad. And just today, I've added another tool into that squad that I want to share with you. But first, let's focus on something that I've created for you today. This is the Chronicles of Abacus. Now, Abacus is my favorite squad of AI tools that contains several that I have previously used in separate accounts. In Abacus, it brings them all in together in the one place. So we have GPT-4o, Claude Sonnet, Gemini Pro, Llama, and a batch of other ChatGPT assistants. What I've done here is I've asked a query inside Abacus to ask each tool how they describe their beginnings. Now, I got this idea from someone else's post in social media, probably Facebook, where they had asked their AI tool to respond in their own voice. That struck a chord with me, so I've asked each of the tools in Abacus to do the same. And thereby was the beginning of the Chronicles of Abacus, which is a whimsical and imaginative series that narrates the stories of a vibrant community of AI companions, and each created by different organisations but united in their mission to assist, entertain and engage with humans. And these tales explore the unique capabilities and adventures of each AI, showcasing their contributions to the collective intelligence and creativity of the Abacus community. And here we have a list of the cast of the AI companions. GPT-4o is a storyteller. Claude is the poet. Gemini is multifaceted analyst. Llama is the conversationalist. Then we have Chat01 Preview, which brings a fresh perspective and an exploration in dialogue. And Chat01 Mini, which is a compact version of 01 Preview. And then ChatGPT-4o Mini, which is a streamlined counterpart to the others. And I've gone on to ask it to generate each chapter by using the tool itself. So how did I do that? Well, let's go over to Abacus and have a look at my prompt. So what I'm saying is, could you tell me some of the personal autobiographical stories of yourself and your squad of AI tools here at Abacus? Then I gave a little more information about me. You can put in there whatever you wish. So what I'm wanting to do now is to create an unpublished autobiography of my new best friends. And I begin with GPT-4o. And it comes up with the outline for this story, which I'm calling, or it has called, The Chronicles of Abacus, a tale of AI companions, and written it in narrative format. Subsequently, I have copied the responses into a Google Doc and changed them into my voice. It begins with chapter 1, the birth of GPT-4o, and it then moves on to what it described as chapters 2, 3, and 4. But I've changed that to being subsets of the first chapter about GPT-4o. So then I took it a next step. Oh, and by the way, in each instance, you'll see that they sign off with the preferred signature that I've asked it to use. Next, I have changed to using Claude. And in here, I'm asking Claude to craft the next chapter and keep to the style of the story as above, and then let me know about your own beginnings. So we now hear from Claude. As you can see, it is Claude giving the response this time. And he goes on and gives us the sonnet of Claude. So this was an interesting and fun experiment, and I wanted to continue. So I did, with more prompts. I'll just skim through a few of them. Next was Gemini. So we wanted to forge the next chapter and reminding it to keep the same style and focus on your own beginnings. And you'll see below the response from Gemini 1.5 Pro. I like the name of this chapter. He's called it Gemini Rising. And it's written in the story format, which appeals to me, but you could ask it to choose any genre of writing. And it had quite a long response from Gemini. And then Llama enters the scene. Now I'm going to ask it to create the next chapter from its perspective. And Llama comes in and gives us the llama's tale. It sounded a bit like the old Chaucer's stories. And then it continued to give me all the details about its beginnings and what it focuses on and what it's best at doing. Not only is it giving me this narrative, but it's telling me more about how I would use the tool, because Llama is not one that I was familiar with. Then I went on and asked Chat01 Preview the same question, and it came up with yet another chapter title. So putting all of that together, we come back to my Google Doc, and you'll see each of the chapters here. And in each case, perhaps I'll go back and I'll just give you the pictures as well. In each case, I've gone back to GPT-4o and asked for an image to describe each of the companions. So we go through to Sonnet, Gemini, Llama, Chat01 Preview, Chat01 Mini, and Chat40 Mini. So a range of different images to more or less give me an image to focus on when I'm conversing with each one. And they've given me their chapters, which I have put into this document. So what's next? Well, I wanted to try out this new tool, which I have used just today, and I'm already smitten with it. It's called, I'll over and have a look. It's called NotebookLM, and this is by Google itself. Here we are in this new tool that I discovered today called NotebookLM. It is a Google product. And I have created a notebook called the Chronicles of Abacus. And I have uploaded the document that I had downloaded from Google Docs into a PDF. So then I've uploaded the PDF here. And the beauty of this new tool is that you can ask it to create a podcast. So after uploading the document, it gave me the summary. So we know it can read through a document. And then when you ask it to create the audio, it brings in the voices of two AI tools who have a conversation about the document, unpack it, and give their opinions on the way it's put together and what its impact might be for others who are going to listen to this podcast or who will read the actual document. It is truly the most amazing tool that I have discovered so far. It's so simple to do. It created its own little podcast called The Chronicles of Abacus, nearly 11 minutes long, and I should be able to share this with you by playing it here. So let's try.
This Abacus AI concept, I gotta say, It's really capturing my imagination.
Really?
Yeah, reading through these excerpts from Chronicles of Abacus,
Uh-huh.
it feels like, I don't know, like I stumbled into this writer's dream team,
Okay.
all powered by AI. It's really something.
Yeah, it's really interesting how they've approached describing these AIs, instead of
Mhm.
all the technical stuff.
Yeah.
They've painted these AI companions as almost like characters you'd find in a story.
Exactly. And like any good team, they each seem to have their own like specialty.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start with one that really caught my eye,
Okay.
GPT-4o.
So that's just the first 40 seconds of this very engaging conversation between the male and female AI voices. And I was just astonished at how well it put together the content for their conversation. It was almost like humans who were giving me feedback on the document that I had written and doing it in such a way that their voices really resonated for me in the style in which they were speaking and the enthusiasm that they were bringing into their voices. How amazing. At the end of the process of uploading the document and asking for the podcast, you can then download it. Yeah. And it will download as a .wav file. And you can then upload the WAV file to wherever you need it to be. And in my case, I've chosen it to be in my Substack community. Let's just pop over there. So in my next gen genealogy community, I have created a post called the Chronicles of Abacus and put in place that initial document image and posed a couple of questions and then imported the podcast. And it just sits here as something that the reader of this document or this post can play. So by clicking on the tool itself, they can listen to these two AI voices unpacking the Chronicles of Abacus. And then further on, I've asked for people who've come into this post to leave a comment, pose a question, etc. And all of this is done inside what the Substack community call a discussion post. So people who come here can write their own comment here and can share the whole thing with social media of their choice. So I found this to be an ideal way in which I could generate a podcast very quickly and easily from something that I had written, but not in my voice, using other voices. So I hope you've enjoyed this brief look at how NotebookLM from Google enables you to create a podcast. Have a go yourself. Go to Abacus or any one of your tools, write your document and have the tool respond in their own voice. Give it some instructions about how you want them to respond. Create all that as a document, then go back into NotebookLM and see if you can create a pod. Have some fun with this. And do let me know in the comments below whether you found this useful. And oh, yes, don't forget to subscribe.